The question is, why start a health or fitness challenge like this in the first place? Because since I turned 28, I've realized that I feel kind of unhealthy. I don't regularly work out, I kind of have some back pain, I feel weak, my jobs and passions make me sit all day, and I eat pretty poorly. And I want to feel limber and healthy and strong for a change. I'm not looking to become a bodybuilder or run any marathons, but I think small consistent workouts and better dieting can certainly improve my life. Obviously my happiness and in terms of mental health, but also specifically to make me a better studio artist, to make me perform what I do within my job and hobby and career at a higher level. We got a giant rainbow. If you don't want to subscribe because of those factors, I don't know what you want to subscribe to. So start the 90 days. Okay, it's day one. We're here August 4th. Gonna try to take some baselines. I like data. I'm gonna try to meter myself, but it's gonna be kind of hard, obviously. But weight, I'm about 138, 139 pounds. The last like 4 years of my life, about 139. I've measured myself the past few months. It's about 138, 139 in the morning with no food. This is a big camera setup. It weighs about 5 pounds. I'm super not flexible. I used to be when I played squash and sports in high school. Part of the reason why I think is, first of all, I live a pretty sedentary life, but also I broke my leg really badly back in 2020. You know, I snapped my tibia and fibula, and the PT I did for 3 months, but perhaps only got 80% of where I should have been and then stopped and fell off. Plus my sedentary lifestyle, my hamstrings and my back has always been sort of tight after that injury. And just to set the record straight also, I'm not a huge piece of shit. You know, I can do pull-ups, I can do push-ups, you know, I have some workout equipment here in the studio from when I was trying to work out and be healthy when I built this studio. I'm constantly on the move here in New York City, walking between 10 and 15,000 steps very often. What I'm saying is that I've never dedicated myself to being healthy and exercising and eating consistently. So this journey I'm trying to go on is specifically just to be healthier. I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder. I don't think I ever will be. I want to just go towards the path of general health with stretching, sort of calisthenics, posterior, anterior stuff. I don't even know what that means, but fixing my posture. I'm doing a blood test later to measure a bunch of biomarkers, testosterone. Maybe after the 3 months, I'll do another blood test. But just general health. So it's day 2. I'm going to take you through my whole day. Hopefully today will be like the golden standard of my health regime. My goal is to really just replicate that as many times as I can throughout the next 88 days. My only goal is to be incrementally improving and maintaining consistency. This health regime includes waking up early. I've been doing pretty good the last week before I even started this. Today I woke up at 7:45, not crazy early, but it is a Saturday. The regime also includes general health, not putting bad things in my body, no smoking or drinking, not that I do that often before, but even more so not now in the subsequent weeks. And then of course, eating cleaner. That's a huge one. That's a big one that I'm not great at. It's gonna be probably more expensive and time consuming, but eating healthier and just cleaner in general is a giant part of the pie chart. The biggest part of this wellness routine is the exercise, and I'm gonna be using my studio as sort of the home base. I work a lot, 6 to 7 days here on the weekends, so it makes sense to sort of just use my studio as the home base, optimize work and effort in a controlled, you know, kind of environment to do my workouts. I obviously won't be able to do them every time there, but the studio is the home base. The exercise routine is really simple. I'm just breaking it down into like 20 minutes of stretching and 40 minutes of working out, you know, per day. It's all super simple. I'm a novice, so just like push-ups, pull-ups, deadlifts, squats, plank, and doing some posture exercises. But really leaning into the flexibility and all those things. And I know I have to be careful with some of these neck movements, you know, for working on my posture. I gotta take it really slow. You gotta be careful around the neck. So I am gonna take that really slow the first few weeks. But in general, you know, like I'm so weak. It's just so apparent. I never weightlift, and even doing these squats and deadlifts, my legs are already sore from yesterday's, the first workout. But the good thing is, even if I take days slow in the first few weeks, I'll be able to track it through my calendar. It's very simple, just how many push push-ups and pull-ups. I do generally, so I'll just be able to see, you know, my progress, I think, and obviously throughout workouts, I'll check in every few weeks or so how many I can do and just how I feel. So it's gonna be exciting. You gotta start from somewhere. And now it's day 25. I'm feeling great, actually. In the last 20 days, 24 days, I've done 104 pull-ups. I've done 385 push-ups. That might not sound like a lot because it's not, but I'm starting slow and I'm feeling stronger. This calendar setup isn't the greatest system. In September, I'm gonna do a way better job. This calendar is sort of just for fun and it's kind of cool to track. I'm hoping to double these numbers at least in the next coming month. But all in all, I feel good. You know, I've been pretty consistent. This last month was absolutely hectic here for me. I was fully renovating my studio, making room for my art classes that I'm hosting and the new organization that I made, Studio Slew, which is like an art institution for fine arts and things like that. So I was renovating like crazy. You could see some of these days, I just put zillion ladders because I was going up and down these ladders like 100 times, and renovation days, 4 days in a row, just building. So those were sort of very active days. They weren't my core workouts. I do them as much as I can. I missed a couple days. I was traveling back home, blah, 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 excuses. Trying to keep the stretching really consistent. I'm feeling more flexible, which is really exciting. And it's so classic me when I get obsessed with things. I'm very phasal and obsessive, especially for new hobbies or making this video, which I knew I was. I want to make the best video possible. So I'm going sort of to the nth degree. All my dieting has changed. I bought all these supplements. I'm taking creatine and these mega smoothies. I have other supplements and sleeping supplements. You know, when I get into things, I just do deep dives on YouTube. I'm born and raised on YouTube. I'm a YouTuber, and so I just go bananas watching YouTube videos on health and wellness. I've been watching Brian Johnson, Extending Life, Shervin Shares, just general health, and then also Dr. Ryan with back posture and stuff like that, which we'll talk about later. So I just feel like I'm very deep in it. Maybe because of the video, maybe because I'm just enjoying seeing my progress, and I do feel good, I will say that. I have a long way to go. I feel like I'm in normal shape now, as opposed to being in horrible shape. I could do a decent amount of push-ups now. Pull-ups are still hard, but I'm trying to work on really good form. You know, also my blood test came back a few weeks ago. It looked great. You know, I was pretty nervous weirdly for that, but everything is normal. My testosterone is normal. Maybe I'm gonna measure again and hopefully my testosterone will go up. I don't really care as long as it's in the normal range. The only thing deficient was vitamin D, which like 90% of the population is. So that was all good. I'm doing actually a full body scan, MRI in 3 weeks, so that will be interesting to see also. Again, I'm going balls to the wall, but just consistency, just continue to do what I'm doing. And I will say, being consistent at things that I don't love is pretty challenging. I don't think I'm the only one who believes that. Being consistent with my YouTube channel, being a content creator, maintaining my practice, being consistent with my business, that has been my biggest triumph within this motif of doing things over and over again very often. But that's also my biggest challenge in life, is being consistent with my business. My business is me, I'm the face of it. It is also my passion. So it's swirled around in this basket. I work for myself, no one can tell me what to do. I don't have to answer to anyone. All the success is mine to relish in, but I also carry all the adversity and all the stress that comes with that. And I've been able to manage it pretty well because I love it. I actually want to sit in front of a computer for hours and hours and edit videos of myself painting. I want to do all the crazy painting projects. I want to start an art school and host the best and most interesting drawing sessions in the world. And when you love something, it's easy to put the time in, obviously. It's now the end of September, about 7 weeks into this health challenge, and my mega inconsistent schedule within my business and life here at the studio has been by far the biggest challenge within this health regime. So the last 4 weeks, the last month-ish, I did 950 pull-ups and about 300 pull-ups. So basically tripled my numbers from my first month, and I knew I was gonna do that because I'm feeling way stronger. I can bang out like 100 push-ups a day. Working out and eating right is not super hard, but I don't love it as much as all the other things I could do with my time here at the studio. And I realized how hard it is for myself to do things outside of my lane of love and passion. I have to do things I don't want to do all the time. Obviously, that's a part of life. It's a part of being a person in society. There's a whole bunch of things that come with being an artist and a YouTuber, my dream job, that I hate, that are miserable. 45% of the time, I would say even. But within my free time, and time is precious, working out for an hour is not at the top of my list. It's that same story though. Like once you get your heart beating,
You do feel better.
But I have been keeping up with it, and I feel great still. I feel more strong and focused. Nothing life-changing, but I do feel good. My abs and back are certainly stronger, and that makes me feel good when I sit for long periods of time to paint. Eating healthy makes me feel good throughout the day, and I have been pretty darn productive. It's funny how I started this 3-month challenge during quite possibly the busiest time of my entire life. For more than 8 months, I'd been working to open my figure drawing sessions to the public under the organization Studio Slew. It's a nonprofit organization. I'm trying to host art classes and workshops and really build it out. So September, I opened it for the first time, and I really underestimated how much work it would be on top of everything I already do, plus the weekly in and outs of hosting these workshops and everything like that. So I've just been running with my head chopped off. But they've been great, super successful. I'm so excited for the future of Studio Slew. I'm sure you've seen me post about it. If you're in New York City, you should come take a class, absolutely. You could go to studioslew.org to sign up for a class, my beautiful website made by Squarespace, the sponsor of today's video. I needed a really simple and professional platform to host these ticketed events that I now offer to the public, my different figure drawing sessions. Squarespace takes care of all of it within their platform. I'm able to schedule all classes, and it's really easy for people to go online and sign up. Squarespace is the best website to build a website. They have 24-hour customer service, award-winning templates. That's why I used it. It's really straightforward but extremely professional, exactly what I want. If you're an artist, if you're a business, you need a website. They have amazing third-party applications for all your e-commerce needs. Or if you just want to show your portfolio of work, it has the easiest drag and drop grid method, just super user-friendly. Their UI is just, I think, the best. I actually love Squarespace, and it's helped me so much with my business. So if you want a website, go to squarespace.com, and if you're ready to buy a domain and build your own website, go to squarespace.com/slew for 10% off. And I want to make it really clear right now that I still have pizza at midnight. I still eat mediumly unhealthy here and there. I'm not, within 2 months, this super Saiyan health guru. No, not even close. I've just been working hard to raise the bar of my general health within eating and exercise and a few other things. But, I still cheat all the time, if that's what you want to even call it. I'm not holding myself to this cheating mentality. It's just do the best I can, really. But I am still deep into these new health trends on the internet. Brian Johnson, Andrew Huberman, all these supplements and sort of the fringe experiences of health exercises. I did that full body MRI, and it was so cool. So I'm here in Manhattan, MSG right behind me. I'm doing the full body MRI scan. It's 8 a.m. I think it's 90 minutes, just like a mummy. So I'm not claustrophobic, but it's gonna be a long, sort of intense MRI, I guess. I've never done it before, but I think it's all pretty legit, and I'm pretty excited. It was just fascinating. The company was called Pernuvo. I'm not sponsored or anything, but it was just cool, and thank goodness my scan came back clear of anything. And it's just interesting to partake in bleeding edge technology to check your body rather than just going to a doctor and asking you from him to cough and how are you going to the bathroom. It's just it was a very cool experience. And I like Brian Johnson. I like hearing him talk. If you don't know, he's the guy who invented Venmo. He's multi-millionaire, billionaire, dedicating his whole life to de-age himself. And whether you love or hate him or think he's a freak, it is interesting, it's fascinating. And a little while ago, I bought his olive oil that he sells because he thinks olive oil is super healthy for the body. I'm not gonna sit here and try to explain why that's true because I don't know. I just thought it was a cool gimmick to get for the video. I actually love olive oil, so drinking olive oil to be healthier, why not? Comes with 2 bottles, and I'm pretty sure they're like wine. I'll save the other one for my mom for Christmas or something, but let's do an unboxing and let's try it. Blueprint, Brian Johnson. With the goal of slowing his speed of aging, Brian Johnson allocates 15% of his precise
daily caloric budget into this extra virgin olive oil. Blueprint's olive oil is rich in polyphenols, which studies show can potentially safeguard against various cancers, cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, and neurodivergent conditions by providing better reduction of oxidized LDL than
normal olive oil. I don't know how much you're supposed to drink, but it's kind of cool. Did someone steal my wine opener? It's because I haven't been using it, because I haven't been drinking much. Oh, it might be a twist off. because that would make sense, because it's not just like wine. Oh, it's a cork, that's cool. I don't know how much to drink. I'm gonna fill up half of this shot glass. Whoa. Smells like olive oil. Tastes exactly like olive oil. Woo! A little peppery at the end. So again, I don't subscribe to this stuff super hardcore. I just think it's interesting. And again, I'm in this phase of health and YouTuber. He's a great YouTuber now, so I'm just in it a little. If it's not your cup of tea, it's not your cup of tea. Tastes good though. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, it is the third month over, end of October. I know we've been bouncing around a lot. It's crazy that the 3 months is done. This past month has been ridiculously busy. So I basically did another renovation of my studio. It's funny how this 3-month challenge has encapsulated 2 renovations. This most recent one, this past couple weeks, has been by far the biggest. I was expanding the studio, rebuilt the entire big room basically to fit more people for my drawing sessions. I built this giant stage. I got some more drawing horses. We rearranged things. It is crazy and it looks amazing and I am so happy with it, but it has been a very inconsistent month within the health regimen. I think my numbers were lower. I only did 780 push-ups and 150, give or take, pull-ups. So those are lower than my second month, which is a bummer, but I basically spent 2 weeks straight hauling wood, drilling, cutting. It was very active. The month was very active, and honestly, like in a bad way, kind of, because my back hurts. But I guess that's the excuse. Giant renovation, extremely busy. But I still got some in. All right, the time has come. November 6th. It's Monday. It's been 94 days of this whole crazy health challenge. We got the same setup as last time to take some nice after shots. I feel like that's all people care about, is how I look after. So yes, here is me, 94 days later. I think it is mediumly cringy to be trying to flex in front of the camera because I'm still so skinny. Let's be honest. This whole video, I tried to be really authentic. Like, I'm not trying to fluff myself up or eat a bunch of sugar. This is just how I am right now. I ate at 11. I did a half workout to sort of look a little more juiced for this. This is now like 2:33 p.m. Am I stronger than when I started? Absolutely. Do I feel better? Absolutely. How much stronger? It's kind of arbitrary and it doesn't really matter. That's not the point. Do I think I look better? Sure. I'm definitely stronger, but I'm also still definitely skinny. The point wasn't to become a handsome bodybuilder. The point was to become healthier, to work on my posture, to obtain an awareness of general physical health, diet, stretching. Speaking of stretching, that's like the one thing that I feel like could have improved more. It's the one thing I'm not the happiest with. Am I way more flexible? Yeah, I could pretty much comfortably touch my toes. However, my back, my posture, I feel like is way better. I'm so much more mindful of how I am instead of this, which I can't even I have to force myself to slouch like this when before I could, I was living like that. My back, these muscles and sort of the inner core muscles, I think, are just so much stronger, and it makes me feel great, especially working. I'm definitely happy. It's so funny. Like, again, I said before, it's so hard to maintain discipline. I really, think that's what separates a lot of people, is sort of like just the consistency. And there's a difference between being consistent for, 6 weeks, and there's a difference between being consistent for 6 months, working towards whatever you want to work on, whether it's drawing, portrait painting, lifting, learning a language, whatever. But I learned so much. I probably am the healthiest I've ever been in my life. I think I can confidently say that. My diet has been way better. I've never eaten healthier or consistently healthy. I really consider myself extremely disciplined within a few categories and buckets in my life. My business, my drawing practice, making videos, things like that. But again, sort of the other compartments, which are super important, if not more important, like my health and my diet, those were sort of falling to the wayside. So this was just an amazing few months. And I guess the challenge now is to maintain it now that this video is over and I've had the extra little push from this video to document the whole thing. Will I continue? Hopefully it will, because I feel good, you know. I think it does make me perform better in my life. It's not going to make me better at drawing, you know, being stronger and eating healthy isn't going to make me a better painter, but it's the idea that comes around, you know, the umbrella of your whole life, feeling more confident, feeling more clear, you know, being able to focus longer or, you know, sit for longer at the easel or at the computer. All those things add up. And so I think it's a net positive on my life. And again, not the most disciplined person. I am not the healthiest by far, but it was certainly worthwhile, and I do hope to continue because now it's like sort of this new baseline of how I could feel, how I could operate my life. And it certainly takes time to practice making time for it and remembering, oh, it's, you know, maybe it's better to eat the, you know, the chicken and vegetables rather than the slice of pizza every day. 400 pizza shops on my way home. But yeah, and I guess that's it. I also forgot to mention my weight. I gained like 5 pounds. I'm like sitting at 145 now, which is still not a lot, but it's impossible for me to gain weight. I think if my direct agenda was to like put on muscle and gain weight for this 90 days, I could gain maybe upwards of like 10 or 12 pounds. But that wasn't really my goal. But yeah, I haven't fluctuated between like 135 and 140 since I turned like 19. So it's pretty much where I am, but I did gain weight, which is good, and hopefully, you know, that was hopefully the outcome rather than lose weight, of course. And yeah, that's really it. So 3 months, hopefully the next 3 months will be good as well, and we could just keep it up. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. This was like a bit new for my channel and for me, but it was fun being vulnerable and taking you through the experience. So that's all I got. Subscribe. Awesome projects coming. See you in the next video.